Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's talk. My name is Randy Hawthorne. I'm the executive editor here at Nonprofit Hub, and I have today with me a friend of mine, Jim Blue, who is the executive director at Cedars. And Jim, thank you for being here today.
You bet, my pleasure. Always good to talk to you.
And I would love our audience to know a little bit more about what Cedars is.
Great. Well, Cedars is, in my opinion, Randy, an organization of people who are really focused on helping kids and families who are in all kinds of vulnerable situations. My view is there is no other organization like it in the world. There are other nonprofit organizations that do some of what we do or do what we do and other things, but we really have a unique array of services going from, well, we're the only emergency shelter in all of southeast Nebraska, and we're full right now. We are one of the larger foster care programs in the state, where we're trying constantly to recruit, train, and support our foster parents to really critical, essential emergency services like our street outreach program that operates out of our drop-in center downtown, to a range of prevention services where we're going into the family's home to try to help them as partners to build their strengths. Childcare, after-school childcare, early childhood development, because childcare is so essential for vulnerable families. So it's really a unique organization, and I've been proud to be part of it for a long time.
Yeah, it's an incredibly comprehensive system that you have.
Yep.
The organization is impressive, and it's
Thank
been
you.
a long-standing pillar to our community. And because you are in my community, I really appreciate all that you've done to help those vulnerable families and children, because it's definitely noticeable.
Thank you.
You said you've been in the business your entire career.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just got a notice on my phone that you are kicking off a capital campaign for Cedars, and I know you've done them in the past.
Yes.
So talk to me a little bit about the experiences for our viewers about maybe how to go about starting a campaign, and then how is it like that right now?
Sure. So, Randy, I am a social worker by trade, master's degree in social work. So I came up, as it were, or over or down, however you put it.
True.
From the program side.
Yeah.
That's my love. I've always just loved being around kids. I tend to like kids better than I like adults. I was a lifeguard, for 3 years, probably in my late teens. And so I come up from the program side. This is really my second major capital fund drive that I've done. So kind of funny, our last one was when we built the new emergency shelter here in 2008. So we launched that campaign to build the new emergency shelter, and the recession hit.
Yeah, I was just realizing
that. Was cool. And so now we're doing a $3.5 million campaign in a pandemic. So yeah, I have great timing.
Yeah, well, hey, you're full probably in part because of a pandemic. So it definitely can make a strong case for that. But
I don't like fundraising, Randy. I don't consider myself to be a fundraiser, and that's something I talk about with donors, that I'm not a fundraiser. But as you noted, Cedars has a reputation for providing essential services, and thank God we have a real good reputation in the community. So what I'm able to talk about is the hard essential services that we're providing, whether it be in the time of a recession or in the time of a pandemic, homeless, and abused kids need emergency shelter. We need foster homes. So we have a hard service that I think the community has just done a wonderful job of getting behind, and that's the simple story of fundraising that I have.
Yeah, it's all about those relationships, and you're that, and if you have a good story, it makes it all the better.
Right. I mean, what we're doing here now is, and I'll do this really briefly here, Randy, is so this building on Pioneers was first constructed in 1953. We have other sites around, but this is the mothership here on Pioneers, 53. So the kitchen and dining room was at that time on the east end of the building. Well, we've added on to the east and added on to the south since then. So that dining room became kind of a hallway, if you will. But we've got kids from various programs eating lunch and dinner there. So we knew we needed to build a new dining room, kitchen, dining room, and activity center, and a few other things, a new basketball court because of some spacing things. And so we set about a plan to do that in the year 2023. We're going to do a capital fund drive, and in 2023, we raise some money to build a more modernized and more private facilities. Well, the pandemic hit, and what we understood was a privacy issue in the dining room quickly became a health and safety issue.
Right.
And we shut down our dining room here in late March, and we have been serving food to the kids in their program areas and bedrooms on styrofoam, which ecologically drives me crazy on styrofoam.
True that.
But what are you gonna do? And so we started this now. And construction is going on now, and we are talking to all of the families and friends and people who have a regard for Cedars right now to help us pay for this. But construction is going on now, and we'll have this kitchen and dining room and the other things done in April. So it's a strange deal.
That's great to hear.
Yep.
Well, thank you for sharing, Jim. I really appreciate it, and always great to talk to you. And then thank you for tuning in to today's talk, everyone. We love to celebrate those everyday wins. So if you would like to share your story, send us a message on our Facebook page, and you may be featured on a future Today's Talk. So thank you for joining us, and thanks for doing good in this world.